Hey everyone, I have been on cloud nine. So for those of you joining me now, I wanted to show up to share with you. Some of you have, especially my personal page and Facebook, have known that the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle card deck took a gold winner, became a gold winner with the COVR award. So I want to thank everyone for their love and their support that has supported this deck. And I want to start with that. And then I want to share with you a little bit about my journey to be here and kind of help motivate you and your ideas and your dreams. And, don't give up, because, this was a 6.5-year project. And I just send all of you so much love and light. I want to thank you for joining me in this journey of helping me also learn. I want to thank Tatiana Hassan that upon herself reached out to me in 2017 and out of nowhere got kind of activated from a video that I had done and started drawing some light codes that I had saw. And I saw 8 of them. And she sent me 5. And I said, wow, we had never met. And she said, these are yours. So I got activated and started drawing these when I watched her video. She then sent me 5 and I responded to her, wow, I saw these and I saw 8. Can you get 3 more, or do you have any more? She immediately responded with 3 more and said I drew 8 of them. And on that journey then, she became the artist of the deck. And prior to that, I want to thank my son-in-law, Jonathan Gundry, for helping me create the original images that were graphics, and not just the graphic overlays for that of the original images, but also the formatting and the graphic design that it took to put this into place for submission to the publisher. And I want to thank my publisher, US Game Systems, and all the team there. I want to thank Allison and Fern, and also I want to thank Dylan and everyone there for, oh, look at you, Allison. I just say your name and you are showing up. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, Allison. That's why I just said your name, literally. And I'm sure you heard it, you're here, but wow, what a journey. Like, I'm getting chills just knowing you're with me here, Allison, because it has been a journey. And that's why I wanted to show up, first of all, to thank everyone. Like I said, Tatiana, Jonathan, there's not enough people I could really thank, even my clients, because my clients are in these last 7 years is like what helped me create the concept of this deck, showing up to confirm my revelations and to help me see and understand the process of the Ascension journey that is represented in this card deck, which is a self-transformation journey that we become activated on, that through mirrored souls, we learn things, we learn experiences. And so there's just not enough gratitude that I have in this. So that's why I wanted to show up today, to make an appearance and say thank you to everyone. But in addition to that, what I really also wanted to do, whether you are live or whether you're joining this on a replay, I want to talk about the dreams and what it takes to get here. And Allison, I know you know this because you've created several card decks yourself. It is a process. It is giving birth. It takes commitment. It takes conviction. It takes showing up, even if you don't feel like necessarily showing up at times, and somewhere inside of you. And Allison, I got to say this to you too. I said this to you at the INETS convention that we were at, where we did the COVR awards. And thank you guys for hosting all of that, by the way. It was such an amazing experience just being there and doing the signings and the readings there and meeting so many people. So thank everyone that showed up at the INETS booth for US Games so that I could meet you. And I can't wait to see what comes next out of this journey, because like Allison and I were talking, it took 6.5 years to get here, but really the journey's just beginning, because now it's an opportunity to go with the deck as it's in motion around the world and show up at a place that representing it as its own entity, having respect for something when you give it birth like that, but also, really learning how to surrender and allow these things to come through you when you're in creation mode. And that's a process. That is something that I have to say, whenever I had mentioned this to Allison, I was about to say this a while ago, but, when I was 12 years old, I knew there was something inside of me that was going to be the first ever thing that would be produced in the world. I sent off for the U.S. Patent Department to get the documents in order to learn how to patent some at 12 years old. And there wasn't internet back then, so I don't even know how I got that information, honestly. I don't remember, but I did. And so it's like the soul knows when you have something inside of you that is a message or a purpose or a mission, your soul knows what it came here to do. And so what we have to do is we have to learn how to listen. We have to learn how to surrender. We have to learn how to let go of resistance. We got to trust this process. And so I told Allison that when we met like 3 years ago, when I submitted the proposal, and her and I went through a reading and demonstration and sharing the concept and went into great detail about the whole idea. I told her that, my 12-year-old child wanted to birth something. And she's like, well, your soul your soul knew what it wanted to do. I remember you telling me that. But on the flip side of that, kind of fast forwarding to when I started writing the book, Twin Flame Codebreaker, which came through really quick. Like I wrote that in 6 weeks, and it was so urgent that message wanted out there to help twin flames awakening to share more of what they're going through and an understanding of this enlightenment journey that we wake up on sometimes and we don't exactly know what is happening to us when it's early on. Now a lot of people are doing it quicker than we did several years ago. But back then when I started doing this deck, I was called that this deck wanted to birth in. And at that time, I looked online and there was not one deck to be had. There was one that was self-published that was no longer available on Amazon. Not one other deck was there 6.5 years ago. So in that time, I just kept chugging away, and I kept like this deck followed my journey, or the journey was mine. And every time the deck would get stuck and be paused, I knew I was put in the corner to pause and learn more. And every time I would go through a cycle of something, like the deck was going through the same cycle. And, Tatiana went through the same thing, creating the images. And not only that, when I wrote the book and then rewrote the book, and after it was edited by Lynn there at US Games, and I went back through it, I was just blown away at where I was in my own journey. Having been a couple years at that point, and it did get held up and delayed with COVID, but also it meant it's perfect timing because more twin flames in the history of time are waking up now. And since that 6.5 years, there has been other decks that have been self-published. But to my knowledge, and Allison, you can probably confirm this also if you're still with me, but to my knowledge, this is the first twin flame deck in mass distribution that I'm aware of, to my knowledge. Everything else has been self-published. And wow, what a journey this has been on. And, I've said this to several of you, but I want to say this again as well. When it comes to the swans on here, and the swans represent, the twin flame union of love, because swans mate for life. And when I submitted this to US Games, I wasn't sure if it was going to be 2 white swans or a white and a black one, because I'd made both in the original images and when they were redesigned by Tatiana with the graphics. And right when I submitted it, I just knew it was a white and a black. Well, that was partly because of the yin and the yang, and representing the polarities and the duality and, all of that stuff, to where, that yin and yang creates the oneness and the wholeness, not just within, but, with everyone and with our partners, especially. But then last year, Julian showed up and he's black on white. So we really represent from what feels like in a union of a very high energetic place in the collective, bringing unity amongst a lot of chaos in the world and division in the world. And I will tell you that is a mission in itself. That takes a lot of personal mastery and a lot of personal development to be able to embody that as a soul assignment. And while we know that there's nothing about this journey that is technically easy. In fact, I was on a call last night with my longtime spiritual mentor, James Arthur Ray, and his wife, Ursula. If you happen to see this, thank you guys for your work and your service and being a conscious couple and being a part of this collective mission to show up and share. But, James was talking a lot about there's a fine line between chaos and order. And I've talked about that myself in this whole journey about, finding this, I call it like the surrender and the resistance. So we have this fine line between surrender and resistance that is an inner chaos inside. And we got to learn how to balance that. We got to learn how to let go of that and surrender that in order to release the resistance, because anything we resist will persist. And if it's a challenge and we're going through something, and we can go to, like, say, the outcome of that of being the worst case scenario. And in the process of that worst case scenario, surrender to whatever that is, then that is half of the battle right there. But technically on this journey, when it comes to true love and, coming from within, one of the things I've been talking about, and I just did a video for next week that's going to be airing on YouTube, that, this journey, this Ascension journey, and everyone is about self-love. But so many people are mastering the concept of self-love now in order to attract and magnetize and mirror souls and coming together and creating this oneness within and the union within and balancing our energy with masculine and feminine and learning how to set loving boundaries, speak our truth, be authentic, be real, raw, and show up in our purpose. But what I feel like we're doing now is we're shifting from just self-love to selfless love. That's creating a lot of compassion and humility. And, I keep hearing Mother Teresa's words of love them anyway. And so no matter what you're going through, what triggers you're experiencing, know that, those are your wounds, and it's not about them. No matter what is happening, no matter what they're doing, it's not about the other person. It's a reflection of yourself. And if you've done the inner work and in that reflection, then the response that is coming through this selflessness is to be able to come into acceptance of that person, be able to love that person regardless. And in the hindsight of that, you actually transmute your own wound and you dissolve your trigger because you are not allowing that trigger to traumatize you anymore. And so it's a lot of perception. It's a lot of mastery. It's a lot of digging deep. And that's from the healing standpoint. There's, I could go on and on talking about a lot of things, and just this is just coming through me. So if you're on here now, or even if you're in here in the future, please comment and let me know where you are on this journey. If you have an idea, let's just say you want to be an inspiring writer, which, by the way, I'm helping people with that. And I have a group program coming up to help people find their voice, unlock their message, and share their story into, getting their book published. And I'm going to be doing a group writing class coming up. If that happens to be you that's interested in that, let me know, and I will put you in a comment, and I will put you on my waiting list when that launches. So many people, want to step into their purpose, but they don't know where to start. They've maybe you've been in a business and you're an entrepreneur, or you've been in a career for a long time, or a job, and you've been wanting to transition into the more fulfillment and making meaningful money, but you don't know how to get from where you're at to where you desire, or something in your soul is calling you, or maybe you want to birth something. Maybe, usually that's like the book or a creation or a program, or becoming the coach or the healer that you already are, that you just know that that power is in you and you just don't know how to tap into it. And that's one of the things I do in my coaching, is help people tap into their own power, which, by the way, I want to share with you something about that. So if you are available and free, there's a link below that you can connect into a live immersive, half-day immersive that I'm going to be doing on July 10th, coming up here in, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. And it's a Sunday. But it is an authentic abundance accelerator immersive. It is going to be so transformative and so powerful. And the reason it came through, because I've been working a lot in the quantum realm and helping people be able to identify what is the new version, because we've all done this work and we're going to the next level. And I don't care where you're at in this journey, you're going to a new level. And because you're going to a new level, no matter where you are in the expansion of that, it's stretching you. It's causing you to, go further out the limb. It's making you maybe question of, how do I get there? What do I do? And the key in this is that we really cannot decide and see what that is until we actually know who we are in that place. We need to know our values. We need to know our desires. We need to know our needs. And when we know those things, then from that higher place of the highest version of us, we can connect to this quantum realm of the soul purpose and unlock that. And then we can crystallize with that energy and remove the interference energetically that's pulling us out of alignment with that highest version. And when we remove that interference and we reconnect with ourselves in that way, and we go into the higher place of that, then we can begin to crystallize with the energy of that. We can then begin to embody that. And these are 5 keys that I'm going to be teaching to master your vibration in that half-day immersive that I'm talking about, that's going to be live on Zoom. And so I'm so excited about that. So, again, check out the link. But the goal then is to crystallize with that energy, to embody that energy, so that you can, when you embody it, now you can become it. And then once you become it, it means you're taking your thoughts, your feelings, your actions are moving in the direction, in alignment of more of that soul purpose, that soul calling. And now that these things are moving in the direction without this resistance, and you're flowing more in the place of free, fluid, flowing, and flexible, it's kind of like going down the stream, not fighting it up the stream. And that's going to move you more in alignment with the purpose and the mission that you came here to birth and deliver. Because that's one thing, when it comes to writing a book, we all have a story. We all have a message. We all have a mission. We all have a purpose. But the key, I think, too, in this is in the purpose. People keep trying to be like, what is my purpose? Let me find my purpose. Let me seek my purpose. But the key is your existence in this timeline is your purpose. And in that, your path of what you go through, what you experience, that really at the highest form is your highest mission, just to be here and embody this light being that you're becoming, and the light worker, and your existence is enough to just change the world through the transmutation of your own transformation, and alchemize that energy and shift that low frequency into the higher frequency. And that's what I was saying a while ago, whenever, you're moving from, this even self-love to a higher version of selfless love. And we're all being called into that. And so when it comes to that, even from a standpoint of your confidence and your courage and your ability to tap into more peace and your power, you You love changing the world. Ooh, Pat, yes. And you, Pat Powers, like with the name Pat Powers, Powers, right? You are such a powerful being. Thank you also, Pat, for being part of this journey, this twin flame journey, my personal journey, my personal support system here locally. Like, you're just amazing. And you have so much power and you're doing it, you're living it, you're an example of it. You're Reverend Pat Powers. And I'm still going to make it to one of your Unity church services when it aligns. I know, because I know it's powerful. I've been to the one that you've done before. So, but inside of that, the point I'm kind of making in that is we have something we came here to birth. And that something can be different for everyone. So don't compare notes from your purpose to another purpose. Show up every day in a place of how may I serve, and wake up every day in a place of looking inside yourself and be like, how can I today show up in a way that allows me to implement the embodiment of what I desire, and that being what I love to do, what I love to experience, what I want to do to help make an impact on people and inspire in the world. And with that, I mentioned I'm going to be doing a writers group that will be kind of a small group. So again, if that's something that's interested, anyone, make sure to send me a message, leave me a link or comment so I can add you to my list for the writers group. But I also have something that I feel guided to share with you that I haven't launched yet, but I feel guided to share because it's part of this topic. That when I started coaching and transformational coaching like 7 years ago, and I created a program, from day one, I started creating this 12-session program knowing that it was going to help a lot of people. And I watched it transform lives around the world, thousands, like over and over and over. So it's been very turnkey. But through my marketing and my business background, I also packaged it up all along the way for 7 years. I packaged it up knowing that one day this is going to be a tool for people that don't know how to get into their purpose, that don't know how to start a business, that don't know how to, create a program. So basically, I took the program I created and now I've created a program out of it that is a empowered light worker success systems, empowered light worker success systems that is something that we'll be birthing soon in order for people that are interested to be able to step into a turnkey system from start to finish to set up everything they need and have everything they need from down to emails, down to content, down to the copy for their program and their services and all the stuff. Because I even have clients that went through connecting to their soul purpose and branding and doing all these things, and then they still kind of get stuck. And this particular client came to me like a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. A particular client did, and you know who you are if you see this. She basically had said, like, can I buy your program? And the funny thing is, I already knew that was coming. And I said, yeah. So I packaged it in a new way. And now I've been shown, because it's time, that other people are probably interested. And I'm going to be doing another live 12-week program for a small group of people that want my program for that and want the training on how to use it and also to get certified in my program. And so if that's of interest, let me know, because I will add you to my waiting list, because it will also be a smaller group. But back to this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough. Everyone that voted, which, by the way, I want to say on the votes for this, for the INATs, even though COVID for the last 2 years, they hadn't had their cover awards ceremony in person for the last 2 years. This turnout for 2022 and at the Denver Convention Center was the largest turnout they had had in votes. So it's an international trade show for new age conscious living, mind, body, spirit, and basically kind of the largest organization in the world for, that conscious, the conscious connection to transcending and a community, I should say. So they said they had 10,000 voters this year on one of their largest in-person turnouts. So that was amazing to be a part of that. It was amazing to win this gold award. If anybody's just showing back up or just showing up, thank you for your vote. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And just, wow, I appreciate you all more than any words could say. So if anybody's present and has any questions, I'd like to hear from you. If you are watching the replay and you have any questions, I would like to hear from you too. Let me know how I could support you. Let me know if you have any suggestions on ideas you have that you want to birth and you just want to share it, just to put it out there. Leave me a comment. Thank you so much. Show up with Charisse. Oh, Charisse. Or is it Sherry? I'm sorry. No, wait. No, it is Sherry, but Charisse B. Thank you. I see you now. Oh, thank you. I know I had. Oh, speaking of that, Charisse. So I'm glad you mentioned this. So, Charisse, you have been part of my journey for my self-love makeover and my quantum image style. So if you see Charisse on here, Charisse B, she's amazing to help you with hair, makeup, color, which by the way, Charisse, with the new skincare line, Stacy reached out to me and I'm going to get with her. She's the creator of New Life Skincare that I started using, and Charisse introduced me to it. And I just love that skincare product. It's all organic, all natural. It makes you not even want to put makeup on. It feels so amazing. And I even told Charisse, like, there's one of the creams for the day smells so good that, like I said, I could just eat this stuff. Oh, you're in a bad place. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, so if you are just joining me, make sure to go back and watch some of what I've said and about getting into purpose. It is amazing, Charisse. So that's, I got to tell you, if you're in a bad place, this is something that's very important. It will rob you of your energy more than anything. If you are not putting the energy, like if I didn't show up here and put my pain into a purpose, I would implode. Because it's my pain going into a purpose that transmutes it and transforms it and allows me to transcend the limitation and that chaos I talked about at the beginning of this video. So if you're not putting your energy into a purpose, into something positive, into an ability to create something that is big, bold, and beautiful, that's what the soul purpose is that you came here to do and to birth something, then you're going to be spinning your wheels in the middle of the chaos. So while it's hard to sometimes get out of the chaos, it's very important to every day try to take some kind of action that moves you towards something positive and productive. And it can be something small. It doesn't have to be, of course, we cannot eat an elephant all in one bite if we're transforming and we're transcending. And, that's not to say too, like, I show up here and say, I put my pain into a purpose and, I have these things I go through and I experience as well. I'm on this journey like everyone else. And that's how I also create content, because I create the content based on my experience with the process. Oh, yes, Charisse, definitely. Do be in touch. I would love to have a session with you, Charisse. Amazing, amazing. Yes, 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 yes. I'll send you a link, okay, just so you have it, because I don't know if you have a link, but I'll send you a link. And also, Charisse, I don't know if you're coming in just now, but I'm having an authentic abundance accelerator, and you too. Let me see what. I'm sorry. Let me just see. Well, I did bring my glasses in here because I can't read. Oh, here they are. So I'm gonna make sure I read. Zuluk, is it Silva? Yes, Silva. I'll talk about the divine feminine energy in 1 second. Definitely. I'll come back to that because some of the things that I'm talking about now is part of the divine feminine energy. And I mentioned, Silva, if you didn't see the beginning of this, some of what I talked about, the being in the balance of your surrender and your chaos, or I should say your order and chaos that I mentioned a while ago, that surrender into the resistance of that, finding balance in that and the inner state of that, then that surrender space is your feminine space. And we are shifting beyond just self-love into selfless love. And so, but with that, I want to go back to the Authentic Abundance Accelerator half-day immersive I'm doing on July 10th. It's a Sunday. Charisse, if you're still with me, and I'll even send you a link to this too. And anybody that's interested, there's actually a link in this description somewhere around where you're at. But I want to talk about the authenticity of the abundance in that. Because when we think of abundance, and and I talked about the quantum realm earlier and how we're becoming the highest version and the next level and all these things. And to really connect to that, we really have to know who we are. And that's knowing the truth of who we are. But also in the truth of who we are, we need to not only let go at this stage of the game of the programs that we've taken on and the subconscious programs and the things that we've done and habits and thoughts, feelings, emotions, and traumas. But we are also being asked to now come into this space of being able to let go of the stories. We need to change the story is what we need to do, because those stories are still playing out. So what I'm saying in that is we have been reprogrammed already. And our reprogramming that we created 6-7 years ago for even myself, things are moving so fast. If you created a program last week, that program is already outdated. So it's time to let go of that story. So these stories that we've created that are creating limitations on us are blocking us from connecting to, this quantum realm, the quantum level. And so I will send you everything. Definitely, Charisse. Definitely. Thank you. Which, by the way, I think I said this to you, Charisse, but I'm meeting with Stacy about her skincare line I told her when I got back in town. So I'll follow up with her next week because I can't wait to learn more about her skincare stuff. Stories are playing out. Yes. These stories, they're outdated. Even our stories are outdated. And that's something else, back to Sylvia. So in the divine feminine energy right now, not only is it about, I mentioned this, but coming into a space of this self-love, setting boundaries, coming into this sense of worth. Worth is huge. We need to value ourselves. We need to know our needs. We need to stand up for that. So do not get me wrong here. But we have to learn two sides, and we have to bring the balance to two sides. So once we kind of get one, it doesn't take long in this energy till you're shifting. And what you get is this dichotomy. And the dichotomy is a representation of the universe right now, of everything being divided. That division is inside. And it is about us knowing when to navigate which side of us when. So if we're hanging on to the stories and we're hanging on to the fear, and we're not letting those go, and we're not changing it, and we're capturing and attaching to any one experience, especially on this twin flame journey, where everything's a mirror and everything is a reflection, for everyone. And we're all, as not just the twin flame thing, everyone's in ascension and everyone's going through this process. But if we attach to that experience, we just stopped everything from flowing. And so we're being asked in the feminine side of this, Sylvia, is to be free, fluid, fun, flexible, and flowing. Okay, so that is the divine feminine energy right now, is free, fluid, flexible, and flowing. And so I mentioned this a while ago, but my self-love makeover, where I did go through the transformation. So when I talked about, you're tapping into knowing who you are. So I took a lot of time knowing who I was. And Sharice, you know this because you're one of my team people that I connected with in order to learn more about who I was here. Like, because you asked me, other people said, what do you want? What do you desire? Who are you? What do you? And I'm like, I don't know who this new person is. I'm discovering who this new person is. And I want to get to know this new person. And until I get to know this new person, then it makes it hard to decide what is next. Because then we are stuck on our old self. We are stuck on, the old part. But in the embodiment that I mentioned, the crystallizing energy of the new person, the embodiment of the new person, now that the thoughts, feelings, actions are moving in the direction of moving you into that new person in the highest version, when you embody it, like you said, Sharice, I physically look different. Even Sharice, I bet you can confirm this. And I imagine all of you out there that's followed me can confirm this. I don't look the same as I did when I started that self-love makeover journey, nor do I act the same, feel the same, or is my energy the same. And I don't even know when I started that, but it had to be like March, April, maybe something like that. And this is June. So maybe 3 months, if that. And which by the way, Sharice and everyone, you follow me through that. So the whole thing was leading up to a photo shoot. And so I got the photo shoot done just on the 31st of May, but I just got the photos back this week. And so I posted a couple here and there, and my website has a few of the new ones on it, which I've started the new brand. And Sharice, wait until you see my photos. I'm going to have to send you a link to my photos. If anyone's coming in here, go in the description and go on to that authentic abundance accelerator immersive link that I have, that'll take you into my website. Go to my homepage and look at the new photos I have. And Sharice, when I send you everything, I'm going to send you the photos because you were with me on this journey when I started. Yes. I will show you. I can't wait to show you. You made the women who are becoming a priority over the woman you left behind. Wow, that is so powerful, Sharice. That is so true. I made the woman I'm becoming the priority over the woman I left behind. Sharice, that is powerful, 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 powerful. I have to say that's an affirmation. The person I am becoming is a priority. More of a priority than the person I'm leaving behind. The person that I'm becoming is more of a priority than the person I'm leaving behind. That is just so powerful. So everyone mark that down. So LM, why do we feel disconnected after done so much inner work? And when I finally balanced my energies, it felt good and all of a sudden felt disconnected. Okay, that's a very good question, LM. Which, by the way, what is your name, LM? So I want to tell you something. Okay, so LM, let me just say this. What you're describing is I have experienced. Like, part of it is because we're evolving faster than we can execute. So we're literally moving, evolving, changing. And so about the time we get one place, it's gone. We're evolving. So it's time to go to the next level, fast, quick. That's the quantum speed. That's the quantum leap. That's the quantum realm. That's the shift is happening so fast. Okay, so Leela. Awesome. Yes, you did, Sharice. You did speak on that inside of the quantum leap session, style session that we did. You sure did. And it is a good question. So Leela, I'm going to come back to that. So Pat, you accept the person you're becoming easily and release who have been in the past. Yes. You got it. That's perfect. Okay. So I'm going to tune into your question, Leela. I answered it, But I'm going to answer it a little deeper, but I want to feel into the intuition of that because it's such a good question. And I feel guided to even pull a card on that one from my deck here. So let me just see what comes through with the energy and in the deck. Okay, so one of the things that's coming through, and then I'm going to share these cards kind of that go, how the cards link to what I feel. So one of the things is, so every time we, like kind of what you're describing is we connect to a higher version of us and we become more enlightened or we become at a higher vibration, that light and that frequency then begins to illuminate on the shadows. So when that higher frequency that we're hitting, that is from the evolution of being a higher state and a higher place, now that frequency emits light on the shadows and it's showing us areas that are still needing cleared, still needing released, still needing to let go of, still needing transmuted. And so the higher the high, the deeper the low. So when most people think they're going backwards on this journey and they're repeating these things, these cycles are happening. So what's really happening is you're going deeper in yourself to discover more of yourself into the higher realm and the higher state and to continue to evolve upward. And so, you know, it's like taking out the trash. You have to let it go of what's not serving you or blocking your interfering you from your frequency at the highest state so you can connect to more. So technically what I want you to realize when you say the word connection, like you get connected and then you feel disconnected. So what I want you to know in that, this is the heart of your answer. The connection is to the highest version of the order that I talked about at the beginning of this. When you come into the surrender, the peace, the connection, but when you evolve, like I said, that my mentor James Ray had mentioned last night about there's this fine line between order and chaos, and that we're learning how to dance in between the two. And so when you feel disconnected, it's pulling you out of what you think is out of alignment with what's comfortable, but really it's putting you in a place of chaos for you to connect to a side of you you've separated from. And because you've separated from it, you're being asked to reconnect to the part you separated from. And the part you separated from is the side of you of your inner child or your inner state that needs nurturing, needs seen, needs felt, needs heard, needs healed. And if you didn't have the separation or the disconnect, you wouldn't know how to realign with the higher version of yourself into a new way. And so it's about connecting back in a way that is in the new version of you. And that's why it feels like unfamiliar. And because as we go through this process and we let go of our old ways in this, we're actually then learning new ways to navigate. And I don't know about you, but me navigating in my femininity, being all new, and I shouldn't say all new because I've been doing this a long time, but in this new version, being a new way, being like more connected deeper. So the deeper you go, the more you feel. And the more you feel, the more of that empathy you have, the more sympathy you have, the more compassion you have, the more humility you have. And you feel so much more that now you're becoming connected to more of the divine. And in that space, it's going out on a limb, it's stretching you, it's expanding you. And technically, while it feels disconnected, you're actually reconnecting to a newer, higher version. And the key to that is in letting go of that resistance and going into surrender is trusting the process, trusting yourself, trusting the ability to make that leap, to stretch out a little further. In that process, we then are remembering who we are, We're remembering the true identity and knowing then that if we remove that mask and that illusion of the illusions of what we've created in those old stories I talked about a while ago, we can then connect to the side of ourself that is that authentic, real, raw, vulnerable side. And I never mentioned this. I meant to mention this, and this is a good place to mention because I was talking about the half-day immersive I'm doing, which is a link below. But that authentic abundance, when we think of abundance, we think of wealth and all these things that, like been really connecting to a life of leisure and luxury and knowing that I can transmute with love and things could be easier than the struggles. And we can really, through this process, transcend our suffering and our struggles and the pain if we choose to remove the illusion. But in that process of what I was talking about with that, the authentic abundance is literally knowing that abundance is inside. Like the abundance lies within us. And that abundance is the properties of the peace, the purity, the possibility, the sense of purpose, the power, the prosperity also, and also the partnership and the play. And I got to tell you, my self-love makeover and my photo shoot that I did, those elements, which by the way, I don't know if I fully finished my sentence. If you watch this, John Harder Photography did the photo shoot. I want to thank him and his team also that helped me with hair, makeup, style, shopping, all of those things that I have tracked that whole journey. Some of it's been released, some of it's still coming. But in that, I want to thank them as well, because in that process, I really opened up and discovered that the richness of life is inside of how rich you are and how you feel and how you connect to yourself. And the way you fully do it is you have to free your heart. I don't know if that like. So Tatiana did a beautiful job on this card. It's the pathway to true love when you can finding home. Home is where the heart is. And that in that place, you set your heart free. When you can tap into what I'm talking about infinite abundance, quantum abundance is inside. It's in you. It's not outside of you. And thank you very much. I got to go back to your name. So Lilia, thank you. And so, yes, it's why you feel that you need more higher frequency and you feel stuck. Lilia, check out the link for my quantum abundance, or I should say authentic abundance accelerator I'm talking about below, because based on what you're talking about, you would be a great candidate for that. You too, Sylvia, both of you. And Sylvia, you're welcome for the answers. You get the signs all the time from the angels that you're going to reunite with your twin. Is it possible? Well, what I want you to know about the whole twin flame concept is everything's possible. But the key is that you don't worry, wonder, or wait. And at the end of the day, you are to let go of the outcome of any one person and a bullseye. It's really inside here. And I just answered your question. So what I just said to you about the quantum abundance, the authentic abundance, and that abundance is inside of you. It's like your twin flame is inside of you, because you can only have the love of your life when your heart is free to experience it. And for those of you that are on my YouTube channel, and if you're not, make sure to go there and subscribe, because I have a video that'll release next Thursday. I think it's on the 24th, but I release a video every Thursday anyway. There's a video that's going to release there that is going to be amazing in some of this topic, especially around the twin flame. So Lilia, you and Sylvia, if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure to do so and pay it and hit the notification bell so that next week when that video is released, you can watch it, because I think it's going to give you some answers to what's possible with your twin flame and what's important for you personally to take responsibility within, to know that that journey is with you inside. And over time, your reality is going to match your vibration. But you need to be open to the process and not be attached to the story or the experience of any one person or anything up to this date. So right now, if you're watching this live, or if you're coming in live right now, I want everyone to pause. If you're watching this and when you're watching the replay, pause right now and take a deep breath, because I want you to commit to your soul's destiny. And I want you to let go of the preconceived notions that you think anyone or anything or whatever it is that you're attached to. I want you to fully come to a place of, I don't know the outcome, but I will surrender to what is the highest me, what is the highest version of my life, love, and livelihood, and say yes to it. And there's power in commitment. So are you claiming it? Like, are you claiming the fact that you deserve and desire this twin flame love, regardless of anyone? Don't wait on anyone to have it, because it's within you to have around your life. Okay? So if you're with me, please make this commitment. Say, I commit to my highest version of me and destiny. Okay? So I commit to myself and my highest version of me and destiny. Okay? So write that in the information, the comment section somewhere, and that will be a verbal way for you to release what I just said and claim it. Because if you are not claiming it, you can't have it. All right? Yes, 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 Carolyn. Wow, Carolyn, that is so awesome. Carolyn, thanks for joining me. I see you on my Facebook page all the time. And yes, David. Yes, yes, and Lillian. Hey, Monica, welcome. Thank you, Sharice. Yes, I commit to the highest version of me and my soul's destiny. Yes, yes, yes. Wow. I actually feel kind of speechless right now, because all of that, just like any time I show up, is showing up. The only thing I knew I had planned to do was to come here and say thank you. And in the thank you, in that process, everything's possible. Because I said yes to my destiny when I birthed this. At 12 years old, when I sent off for the patent department to figure out how to make something the first ever in the world, becoming the first ever twin flame Ascension deck in the mass market and mass distribution. And I don't say that to brag, but I say it because I want you to know that everything is possible. Thank you, Carolyn. You're a gift too. I always enjoy seeing your comments and your posts and following you as well. If there's questions, I'm here for questions. And share this out, guys. Yes, this is so good. Yes, share. That's a good point, Sharice. Thank you. If you're watching this, share this message with your friends, your followers. Just follow, share it, because I'm going to pause for a moment, and I want to bring in some energy, because it's coming in. Okay. I think you can feel this vibe. If you're feeling the vibe, let me know. We're going to do a little activation before I get off of here. Okay. So let's all, whether it's live or when you come in, let's connect to our hearts right now. So we've already committed to the highest version of ourselves and our soul's destiny, right? So let's seat that in the soul of our heart. And let's put your one hand on your heart and one hand on your solar plexus, because it's the solar plexus that resists it. And I want you to close your eyes and connect into your heart and feel into your body and scan your body for any area of tension. And I want you to breathe into that space. And I got to tell you, there's somebody here right now, because I'm picking up on it. And in fact, it's more than one person. throat chakra, needing to express yourself, needing to voice things, needing to birth things, needing to, oh, there we go, moving some energy. Yeah, let's activate, Cherise. Let's activate. This is powerful stuff. And the power of the community is greater than one. And that's one of the things, I didn't even say this part, but I'm being called out into community, like in my local community, and also more into community online. So I have a, whole community thing that's going to launch as well. I'm not even going to bring all that up yet, but what I will tell you is please stay tuned. Please send me a message if you're interested in any of the offerings that I mentioned earlier, because I just feel so guided to share in a bigger, broader, and bolder way myself in the expression of this, but in the connection of your heart. Breathe in. There we go. Okay, I can feel some things releasing. We're going to ask your guides, your higher self, to come in with the highest order of love and light and that quantum realm and the diamond light. And we're going to connect that into the highest frequency of the cosmic connection and the universal intelligence of the divine. We're going to activate your hara, which is your umbilical cord between you and source. And imagine that golden light. And I say it's a golden light, and it is a golden light. But within that is a fiber optic light. And the fiber optic light is a representation of the illumination of the diamond light. And now I'm seeing it as the platinum light. And the platinum light represents the color rays of iridescent of every color you can think of into the white light of God. But in it is a spectrum of all colors. And just picture that diamond light, that platinum energy, the liquid sunshine of the spotless mind, helping you begin to activate your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions in a way that they come into the alignment of your highest version of you. And connecting your heart to that newer, higher version of yourself, especially now that you've said yes to that destiny and yes to that version of you. We're going to call in that version of you. We're going to ask that version of you begin to seat in the soul of your heart. And that every cell in your body and your being and anything of lower frequency began to dissolve and transmute. We're going to ask that go back to the center of the stratosphere for transmutation and transmute it with love and to love or above. There we go. Bringing that energy in through and activating your solar plexus with the liquid love of God, the seeds of radiance. And those seeds inside of that power center, the golden ray of the golden sun connecting to the brightness and the brilliance of yourself and the resonance of your being. Bringing that energy into your solar plexus, giving you a boost of energy so you can begin to let go in a sense of I trust this process, I trust myself, I trust this journey. I trust my higher self, I trust my guidance, I trust my ability to become that next version. I trust the actions, the thoughts, the feelings, and I trust the alignment of my ability to connect to myself in the highest form. Bringing that energy into your sacral chakra, as your sacral chakra is the creator, the connector, and the ability to express yourself from the divine innate intelligence, connecting to your 10th chakra of the divine creativity, and aligning that 10th chakra with the solar plexus straight into the heart. As you become free and open and willing and ready to align. Coming into a sense of anchoring that into your root chakra. But as we do this, we're going to activate the higher chakras and ask that anything of the subconscious programming be dissolved and dismuted so that you can bring in the superconscious and the higher conscious in, through, and around you, and seated in the soul of your heart. Allowing your heart to become the root chakra of your being now, the higher self. Knowing that through that ability to open up, and through that ability to connect, and through the ability to come into alignment with yourself and your destiny, because you've said yes to it, it's going to free you up to show up, stand up, and speak up for yourself in a way that allows you to be who it is you came here to be. And so it be, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you all. Send you loads of love, loads of light, loads of peace, and loads of harmony. And connect with me. Check out the links I mentioned. Sharice, I'll be in touch with those offerings, and everyone else, you know how to connect with me. I will see you next time. Namaste, Sharice. Sending you so much love. I'll be talking to you soon. Okay. Bye, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and share the shine, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.